and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. I did have a day off yesterday, but you know what? It is time to get back to it. And what we're going to be talking about today is Ronald Koeman and his plans for the summer transfer window. Now, of course, with Barcelona under the leadership of Joan Laporta, because right now, Koeman's future as coach seems very, very secure. And that's why today, we're going to be talking about what he'd like to see happen to the squad over the coming transfer window. So, let's get to it. Because indeed, ever since Joan Laporta has been elected there as the new Barcelona president, I have to say I've been very, very impressed with the level of support that he has given Ronald Koeman, especially in the public domain. I think he's come out several times there, spoken to the public, spoken out and said, you know what, I am backing the current coach. And of course, there's no denying that not only have the results recently been really, really good, but I don't think it's all about that for us Barcelona fans. What we've been most impressed with is the performances. Yes, we beat Sociedad there 6-1, but it was the way that we did it. Really, really emphatic displays with some fantastic movement, brilliant passing, and just overall really, really good stuff. And it's exactly what we want to see from a Barcelona team, which is a real credit and a real testament to the way that Koeman has turned around the club's fortunes. And I think that hard work and indeed the patience that we've had to get here has actually meant now that Laporta does want Koeman to lead the club forward, so much so that it's now being widely reported in the Catalan media that Laporta has already told Koeman that he will be continuing as coach next season and that his future at the club is 100% confirmed. And I think making a decision like that and making a really key call like that is very, very important for two reasons. Number one, obviously right now, Koeman, if he has been given that real show of support from Laporta, he's going to appreciate that. And he's going to take real confidence knowing that he is the man to lead the club forward. And also, you would expect that in a key moment of the season, we're about to play some really big games after this international break. And you would imagine that the squad would be happy as well with that stability. But I also think most importantly there, looking long term, and especially looking at the planning, Laporta there taking that decision now to say, you know what, Koeman is going to be the coach next season. It's important ahead of the summer, because what that means now is that all parties can come together, Koeman, Laporta, and all of the sports management team, and basically understand what this squad needs. They can plan, they can get things right, and everybody can be on the same page heading in to what will be a crucial summer. Because speaking indeed of those transfer plans and exactly what we can expect from the summer transfer window when it comes to Barcelona, it was pretty much inevitable that during this international break we would hear quite a few transfer rumours, and in particular, this morning's headline and their main story from Mundo Deportivo, it was very, very interesting because they came out there with the big headline, What Koeman Wants. And it was basically the ambitions that he had ahead of the summer to really strengthen this squad. You can see there, they have a left-back mentioned and the possibility of maybe that being Alejandro Balde from Barcelona B. Ronald Koeman also wants a centre-back there to bolster his options in defence, and Eric Garcia is heavily mentioned in that area. Of course, as well, along with signings, the very, very important topics there of contract renewals in particular, of course, Lionel Messi and also Ousmane Dembele is a priority for the club. He also wants a physical midfielder, and Wijnaldum there is mentioned as a possibility, and of course, a new number 9, and Depay comes up again. But it's actually there, Wijnaldum and that physical midfielder and that kind of profile that I do want to focus on in particular, because it has been reported over the past few days in the English media that a deal to take Wijnaldum to Barca this summer is 100% done. That was what was reported there from, like I say, the English media. Now, I think that report was a little bit wide of the mark. It was a little bit premature. That was promptly denied from Barcelona and from all the Catalan media sources. But what is very clear right now, just like with Depay, is that Koeman still is very keen on Wijnaldum, and he is still keeping a very close eye on his progress. Now, of course, the possibility of Barca moving for Wijnaldum this summer, it's not exactly a great surprise to us. We all know that Koeman actively wanted to sign him last summer, and if it wasn't for our financial situation, we definitely would have done so. And of course, this summer, he is going to be a free transfer there. After his contract at Liverpool is set to expire, he will be moving on, it looks like, after 5 years at Liverpool. And for me, once again, not only there in the fact that, yes, he's available on a free, just like Memphis Depay is, and obviously Koeman knows both of those players very, very well from his time with the national team, and if he rates them, he's got every reason to do so, especially, to be honest, this with Wijnaldum, because I remember him being a very, very key part of Koeman's Netherlands side. He was really impressive there from an advanced midfield role. He regularly chipped in with some very important goals, and you can see why Koeman would want him at his club. But this is the crucial part for me, because even with that said, it's very similar with Depay, because yes, there is quality there. Yes, you can see how those characteristics would help us there and would definitely improve the squad, but I just don't feel comfortable. When it comes to Wijnaldum, I do not feel comfortable splashing out there, probably on some pretty decent wages. You would imagine that coming in on a free, those wages are going to be pretty high. You'd also imagine that we'd be giving out there quite a long-term deal. And for somebody here who turns 31 years old in November, I'm not sure that's the route, especially right now with the wage bill. We're trying to get things back on track. We're trying to move in a new direction. I'm just not sure I feel comfortable going down that particular route. And I think as well, when you're looking at that midfield and when you're looking there at players who can come in, players that can make an impact, you look at what Koeman has done this season. He's done a brilliant job. All credit to him with the likes of Pedri, how he's really given him the chance to shine in the team. It is so good to see. And of course, even now with Ilaix Moriba, he's somebody coming through there who also does have a bit more of a physical profile. Now, does he feel as though Ilaix could make that next step and actually play more and more as time goes on? And of course, as well, you can't forget somebody like Ricky Puig, who isn't getting a lot of minutes so far. He wants more. He wants to be trying to push in this team a little bit more than he has been. And I just think here that somebody like Wijnaldum coming in, the minutes that he would command, the minutes that he would effectively take away from these younger players, Koeman has been doing so well. He's been giving them those opportunities. And I just don't want at this stage anything that could take that away. And I think speaking of the future, guys, what I do also want to mention is some awards that took place yesterday, because it was Goal's Next Gen 2021 awards, and all of these votes here were cast from each of the 62 global editions of Goal, and it was basically there to crown the best young emerging talent in the world, and the top 50 there were all named, and as you can see, our man, our future there in Ansu Fati, he came out on top in that award. He finished second the year before. This time, he came out on top. And even though, of course, he is out injured right now, there is absolutely no doubting his credentials as the best emerging young player in the world. But it wasn't only him. That's the beauty of it right now at Barcelona. Looking ahead to that future, looking at the players that we do have. Pedri came in fourth. That was a really good showing for him. And certainly, he has the ability, all the ability in the world to keep moving up that list, no doubt about it. And also Ilaix Moriba, we mentioned in there, he did manage to break into the top 50, coming there in 50th. And I just think when you look at these kind of players coming through, when you look at the talent we have right now, it is so exciting from the future. We have to continue what we started this season. We've been developing, we've been nurturing these young players. Laporta will want to see them shine. And I think anything we do this summer, it has to have that long-term plan, that long-term vision, because we have so much young talent. And speaking indeed of bringing through young players, speaking indeed of the Barcelona way of doing things, I do want to end here by talking about a man who was and is part of our past, our present, and indeed still our future, because I want to talk about the great Johan Cruyff, because today marks the 5th anniversary of his sad passing, and once again we remember on this day a man who helped us get where we are as a club, who helped lay the foundations to make us what we are today, from La Masia all the way through the age groups there, right the way to the first team and competing at the very elite level, and somebody who now, given that Joan Laporta is back at the club, somebody who is, as he said in his inauguration speech, they are the most Cruyffista board out there. They will certainly follow the path of Johan Cruyff, and Cruyff will be at the forefront of every single future decision this club will make, because even though he's sadly no longer with us, Johan's philosophy and his idea for football, it will always be right there with us at this club. So that there, guys, was some news that I really did want to bring you today, looking ahead to that summer. I keep saying it's such a big summer because it is for Barcelona. We have to make those right calls. We have to make sure the squad is in the best possible place heading into next season. What do you make there of Koeman's demands? What do you make there of the fact that the players he wants to try and bring in? And what do you make there of that Wijnaldum argument? Would you like to see him at Barcelona? Would you accept that move? Or do you feel that it may hamper some of those young talents? Let me know all of those thoughts down below. Of course, I'll see you soon, with plenty more to come, both here and on More Talk FCB. But until next time, as always, Vishka El Barça!